This is part 5 of my Yellowstone National Park series. It's mostly about exiting the park via the Northeast Entrance Road. The Northeast Entrance Road follows the Lamar River and Soda Butte Creek to the Northeast Entrance. 11:23, we're 101 miles into Thursday, September 13th. We're heading out the Northeast Entrance of Yellowstone toward Cook City and the Beartooth Highway, trying to avoid all the dead little rodents in the road. All these exotic rocks around.
So you put any tape in here too?
Hmm? 1037, 87,697 on the trip, 4903.3 on the trip, going out the Northeast Entrance out of Yellowstone. Now them's his mountains. Entrance 7365. Beartooth Highway open. That's good, because we're here. US 212. Once past the Northeast Entrance, the road turns into US 212, also known as the Beartooth Highway. The problem is, US 212 is closed about 6.5 months from October to May. So the park keeps the road from the Northeast Entrance to the North Entrance open and plowed all year to serve the towns of Silvergate and Cook City.
Cows. On the road. He posed.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Forest. Forest.
Silvergate, Montana. Founded in 1932.
Kersley Lodge.
Different cabins up there. A lot of pine edge cabins.
Home cooking.
Is there anything we need?
Sundog Trading Company. I don't know. You want a souvenir from Silvergate? Look, children. What was the population? 22 and a half?
Didn't say.
How'd you like to have to go up those stairs to home every day?
Instead of saying how many people lived here, it said founded in.
I'm saying this honeycomb pattern. And it's a reflection off the eyepiece of the windshield. Any reason to stop?
People potty at a place.
Where?
Potty at a gas station? I don't have to really go, but when are we gonna come into another city?
Don't know. Do you want to stop here?
No. Just be in line for an hour at the gas station. It's great. Looks new.
And of course, construction on US 212. There will always be construction on US 212. Well, after a 20-minute wait,
I don't know. I didn't even look.
we're on the move again up US 212 with plenty of cars in front of us
Yeah. That's
and
what
plenty of
sucks.
cars behind us.
I think they're making it two-lane almost.
No, this is the new federal regulations. This is how wide the shoulders have to be if you rebuild the road using federal dollars. Lulu Pass. Little bridge section of bridge there. Here we have the Big Bear Lodge and the Big Moose Resort. The Big Bear Lodge, the Big Bear Moose Resort.
No vacancies.
The summer of 1877. What happened during the summer of 1877? In the summer of 1877, the Nez Perce migrated through Yellowstone and this part of US 212 and along Wyoming 296, the Chief Joeseph Scenic Highway.
Guardrails all the way. So we're still putting them on. Drove on nice streets.
Welcome to Wyoming. And everybody gets back on their sickle. Everybody starts their cars. Big effing line to get into Yellowstone. Big effing line to get into Yellowstone.
They stopped in the shade.
Dang. And up we go. Scenic overlook, 1,000 feet. Want to stop?
If you want. Where they walk to that.
Continuing on US 212, you're presented with a fork in the road. US 212 continues north and crosses the Beartooth Mountains, eventually heading toward Interstate 90 in Billings, Montana. Wyoming 296 heads more southeast and partially follows the escape route that Nez Perce used. Following state highways will eventually take you to I-90 before it turns north. In the summer of 1882, famed Civil War veteran General Philip Sheridan and 120 of his men decided to attempt the first crossing of the Beartooth Mountains on the advice of an old hunter named Gear. Despite forest fires and snowdrifts, the shortcut cut a day off their normal route. 54 years later, in 1936, the Beartooth Highway opened from Cook City to Red Lodge, Montana. We drove the Beartooth Highway in 2001 and headed for the top of the world. The highway climbs from 6,500 feet to 11,000 feet via a numerous number of switchbacks, but once you get to the top, there are some stunningly beautiful vistas and alpine tundra.
Excuse yourself.
Oh, sorry. One of my tires farted.
You're flying at the sound.
The glacier? We didn't have to go to the glacier. There's one up there.
Right there.
Okay.
Oh, we're going there. We're down here still. See those little ants up there? That's where we're going.
Though I'd been awed by spectacular mountain vistas through Utah, Colorado, Wyoming, and Montana, the most spectacular views I've ever seen has been along the Beartooth Highway. It has to be one of the most beautiful roads I've been on, and it's the perfect close to a trip to Yellowstone. Alright, it's 2:18 mountain time. My odometer is covered by my stern wheel. We're 175 miles into Thursday, September 13th. We are heading eastbound on US 212 out of the Beartooth Mountains.
You could turn the camera sideways. It goes way up there.
All I have to do is turn the TV sideways.
In 2006, because of our experience with the Beartooth Highway, we drove the Chief Joeseph Scenic Highway. Unfortunately, as I rewatched all the video, I had assaulted Joe with Nez Perce versus the Army stories, and how Lewis and Clark didn't make it to within 70 miles of this place. I had also visited the Heart of the Monster a week and a half ago, where the Nez Perce were created.
Heart of the Monster. This is where the Nez Perce came from. The historic significance of the way we're going.
How many miles is it? How much am I going to have to endure?
I've edited all of that out.
Clark's Fork and Spoon. That's great. Clark's Fork and Spoon. See, Clark's Fork River. Clark's Fork and Spoon. It's 12:36. It's 87,754 on the odometer, 4960.9 on the trip. We are traveling eastbound on the Chief Joeseph Scenic Highway, also designated US 296,
I think.
which is close enough for government work.
Look on the map.
We must be going down into the valley. It does look like they just cut into the mountain here. It's one of the most severe switchbacks I've ever seen.
It's raining out there. Okay, now it'll make sense because all this should be on my side now.
What the monument say?
Your hands won't get greasy. I'll feed you. How's that?
From being fed Fritos.
I didn't force your mouth open.
I've always wondered about the cuts into the side of the mountain that look like they haven't been used in a century.
Painter Road. I think you could walk up there and take a couple pictures. That's the mountain we were on. Wow.
Like Utah Red Rock Mountain type thing.
Definitely.
Honestly, the Beartooth Highway is the better drive, but it takes us about 50 to 75 miles north when home is more toward the south. If you have the extra time, it's probably worth the effort.
It's 4:13 p.m. on Thursday, September 13th. We're 230 miles into today. Change of plans. We're going northbound on US 310 up into Billings to get a room since it took us so long to get through the Beartooth Highway.
In our case, I needed an oil change anyway, so we headed up toward Billings and easily found a quick change place next to Interstate 90. Wyoming 296 heads more toward the southeast, and following state highways will eventually take you to I-90 before it turns north.
Alright, it's 3:30 Mountain Time, 87,828 on the odometer, 5,034.9 on the trip. We're heading eastbound on US 14A toward the Bighorn Mountains.
The route I'm showing isn't the fastest, but it does take you east via US 14A through Bighorn Canyon National Recreation Area and Bighorn National Forest before descending down the Bighorn Mountains to I-90. We've taken it twice leaving Yellowstone in 1998 and 2006. It's scenic enough that I wanted to upgrade the video to high def and retake all the pictures in digital. I'm sort of including it here for the same reason my Grand Teton videos are the start of this Yellowstone video, and I really don't know where else to put it, and I have some really nice moose video.
And now, carrying the torch of the legacy, here's Mark Taylor. All right, folks, glad you're along. Rematch, 7 Eastern ESPN TV this evening. A man who started the season in the Angel Rotation Championship.
Today's Monday, right?
Yep.
As a single Cardinals tonight. Two bosses. Will Israel ever see an end to violence? How will the war against Iraq's insurgents?
Considering that all the strat is vertical, I bet it didn't take too long for the Bighorns to get born.
What, the clouds?
Yeah.
They're so white.
Well, I don't want to find out what's under them.
Chicago, Bill Mickelson's Medina tune-up comes up in 10 days at the International in Colorado.
far away look like sheep,
Yes. Yep.
not little rocks. Why would there be rocks everywhere?
No, I think they're little sheep.
You think they are?
Yeah.
For real?
For real. There's a black sheep in there
Is
too.
there a black sheep in there? That is not fake. He blinked his eye.
At Burgess Junction, US 14A ends as it meets with US 14 before descending off the mountains to I-90.
Alright, 6 o'clock p.m. Mountain Time, 87.923 on the Odo, 5129.5 on the trip. We're going eastbound on US 14 toward Sheridan, Wyoming. Right into that ring there. Let's see, it's 6:13 p.m. Mountain Time, 87,934 on the Odo, 5140.1 miles on the trip. Speed limit 75. We're going eastbound on I-90. Is this really I-90?
Mm-hmm.
We are going eastbound on I-90. First time on an expressway and feels like a long time. 13 miles to Sheridan, where we're going to terminate the day.
And that will end my Grand Teton and Yellowstone National Park series.
Beautiful poofy white clouds, as opposed to the dark, rainy ones.
But those poofy can turn into rainy, yes?
Well, the rainy ones are rainy right now, and the poofy ones ain't. So I like the poofy ones better. I would rather travel toward the poofy, non-raining ones than the real dark, raining ones. You try to explain this conversation.
Like, share, and subscribe. It all helps.